Hello, America. Today's March 10th. Just realized that lost an hour. Daylight savings time. I do like daylight savings time though. But yeah, I'm headed out to a patch of timber that we haven't really looked at with my friends from Hell Hollow. Mark, Kyle, and Brant Mountain. Their Facebook link is below in the description. Make sure you check that out. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring that little bell so you know when our new videos come out. It's been a little while. It's just that kind of that time of the year between fishing season and hunting when we don't get to really do anything hardly, but enjoy the really crappy weather. So I'm hoping we're gonna be getting some more stuff out here coming up pretty quick. So anyway, like I said, we're gonna go look at a patch of timber that we haven't really had a chance to look at very much, but it's a big, wild, just crazy, tangled mess. But usually in those big, wild, crazy, tangled messes, you can find something. So I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna try to find that spot that that the deer are gonna be, because it's just there's too much there for there not to be something. So stay tuned. We're gonna take a walk. I got my boots on, and I think we're gonna find something good. We're gonna go find that juice. Stay tuned. So I don't know if this makes sense or not, but I think the best time to scout an area is right now, because there's no leaves on the trees. Everything is wide open, and everything's smaller. You can really see a lot more of what's going on. So if you have a place that you like to deer hunt, and I know it's the off season, that's probably not what you're thinking about, but get your boots on, take a walk, and look around, and I think you'll be surprised what you find. So I'm gonna keep looking around, and as soon as I find that spot, I'm gonna share it with you and kind of let you know what I found out. So stay tuned. So I don't put a whole lot of stock in sheds. I mean, they're fun to find and everything, but I want to know where the deer are when I'm hunting during the rut, you know what I mean? So anyway, I found this little guy. Finally found a shed. Oh, there's his match right there next to it. Wasn't that cool? Awesome. Okay, in the creek bottom where I found these is very attractive. That creek meanders through out there, and there's some trails in there, lots of sign, and I think that might be one of those situations where if you get too hung up on that sign, it may be too deep into a buck's court area where you may be able to blow it. So I think the best approach, and I did find a spot where there's some traffic that's coming out of there, and these antlers are right together. So my theory on that is that is where either he was in the exact same spot and just happened to drop both of his antlers at the same time, or he's bedding right there. So I'm going to go with the latter and say that's where he's bedding, and that's a pretty good sign, at least for right now anyway. Now he winters here. Obviously that's his little home down there, and this is his core area. But where is he in the fall? Who knows? You know, he'll be here early season. My theory is what I want to do at this place is I want to find out where there are does filtering out of here to feed on these ridges, and then I want to find that one spot where he's going to move parallel to this feeding area, checking these does during the rut. Because I mean, that's buck hunting, not deer hunting. If you want to deer hunt, if you want to go kill a doe, put your time in on a field edge or a food plot, and they're the first to come out, and you know, so that's where your odds are with something like that. But I really think that if you want the best odds you can at that buck, you need to get inside and be a little bit aggressive, but not too aggressive to the point where you're gonna screw a place up. So we're gonna keep looking around. We're gonna find that happy medium where that scenario does exist, where he's gonna be moving back and forth parallel to the food source, checking these does and these trails, and then, you know, I'll make a waypoint and
we'll probably put a stand there for this fall. Okay, here's something. What I was talking about was trails that run parallel to the food. So right behind me is going to be a bean field next year. Yeah, it's going to be a bean field next year. And so back into this timber over this way, it's crazy town. Why, just choked off, wild, crazy. So right here is a little crossing of a low spot. And what I mean by bucks using those areas is, check this track out. That's 3 fingers wide, almost 4. So I think that is a sign of a mature deer anyway, using, and it's really safe right here. There's a little pond levee right here right before the food source, and it's kind of low down, but I mean, this is all they got for right here. So this is a really good choke point to think about for season. Okay, same trail, big rub. That tree's about the size of it's probably bigger than a softball, so that's a good sized tree. And then another rub right here. Same area. These rubs are, I don't know, 15 feet apart. So I think I'm definitely onto something. That the funniest thing about it, it's been right under our nose the whole time, and we haven't even noticed this. That's the cool part about scouting this time of the year. You're just not gonna find the things in the summer and fall that you can in this time of the year when just everything is bare. Okay, I'm gonna explain this the best I can. I might map it out too, just to make it easier to, because this is a tough one. So anyway, down here is a super deep creek bottom, and I was just walking this creek bottom, and just to see where there's only, and so the creek bottom has like a really high bank on one side, and then like a flat, and then it comes up here where I'm standing right here, and it's another pretty steep hill. So there's a little saddle where those deer are coming up that saddle. It doesn't really look like they're coming up anywhere else in here. And I got up here, and there's also another trail, just like I like, that runs parallel to the food. The food, again, can't see it, but it's right behind me. And there's also like a logging road that we've cut into here. So and there's some rubs here too. I'm seeing rubs. It's even this. I really like this spot a lot. I made a waypoint here. So there's a lot of stuff that comes together. So there's a buck that can walk that creek bottom and come up here and just feel safe as ever. And check these trails. Yeah, and we can walk in on this little makeshift road. Pop up in one of these trees right over here. North wind. I don't think you can get a better scenario. Definitely going to hang right here. Get out where you hunt before the leaves come out, before mushroom season, because everything's going to start greening up and you're not going to see this stuff. Get out right now and scout your hunting area. I'm telling you, you'll find stuff you will never ever find in the summer and fall, and even in the spring. So get out and get it done. Or not, whatever. It's fine too. Psh. So I'm walking down this little road from that little site that I was just talking about, and there's a nice little doe trail. Goes right out here to that food, which is just, it adds more to the scenario where that parallel trail is going to come into play. So I'm pretty excited about this, but I think something's going to happen right here. I got a feeling. So here's a look at that creek bottom. I just walked this down here, and from where I'm standing right now, it's probably about a 60-foot drop, damn near straight to the ground. So that's why that other area down there, 100 yards away now, is where, I mean, there's only a couple spots where they can get from there to up to here. So that's pretty cool, though. That's a long ways down there, and there's nothing, again, I'm not saying they can't climb a steep hill like that, but doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to. I've still only found these 2 sheds. Hey America, anybody can find a big shed But how many people are going to find that little guy right there? He's going home with me.
Hey America, I just want to make something clear. I don't consider myself an authority. I mean, I've been doing it for 22 years, you know, bow hunting for deers. But I would rather just share my experience with people and learn as well from others about this thing. You know, I'm pretty passionate about it, and I'm not even near saying that I know more than somebody else about this. So you're welcome to share your knowledge with me by commenting below. And you know, I just want to make that clear that I'm not coming to you like some super hunter as some kind of a, I don't know. So I think that pretty clearly explains it. But anyway, thanks again for watching.
Some extracurricular activity out at my buddy Kyle's. Do a little bit more shed hunting than I wasn't expecting to do. Found this little guy, so gonna keep looking for a little while longer, I guess. So how about a recap of today? You know what a really big thing in this is that there's a lot of stuff that you just can't find on Google Earth. But we found evidence of deer. They do live here. This little guy, I call that a pocket shed. So here's a pretty good look at these matching set. They're right next to each other. Not too bad. They're not hardly. This one's chewed up a little bit on the ends of these two tines, but other than that, they're in pretty good shape. Nice little find. You know, there's this deer was definitely on the do not shoot list. I would just by the antlers, I would typically put him at 3.5 years old. So next year he'll probably be on the kill list, possibly, along with a whole bunch of other ones. This place was pretty pressured before Kyle and Mark and Brant took the place over. And like as I said before, there's a link for their Facebook page below. Check them out. Hell Hollow. They're doing it right, and I'm glad to be able to help them out. So a big takeaway on this, and this is also, you know, I mentioned about the parallel trails between food source and cover. I think that's a big deal. Also, I like to find pinch points that aren't so obvious. Like I said, there are some things you just can't find on Google Earth. I like to find those big washouts between the ridges, and there's always a place somewhere on those ridges where they can cross. And I was able to find one spot where it's just an X, where there's one place that they're crossing in there, choked off this way, choked off that way. So I'm going to try to figure out some way to get set up on that as well. So that's another thing that I like to look for. So that being said, I think that's a pretty much of a wrap on my day. This is a big old, like I said, a big old block of timber that we haven't really had a chance to really get to know, and I learned a lot today. So well, I'm probably going to do a couple more walk-arounds in here before everything starts turning green, just to get a better feel for it. And I believe that there's going to be some action here next year in 2019. So yeah, you know, make sure you subscribe and ring the little bell. And hopefully we're going to be fishing here pretty quick. That's what I want to do. Do a little bit more, do a little bit of fishing. So maybe next time you see me, we'll be on the water, but we might be out here doing some more of this. So thanks for watching. Rod and Arrow Outdoors.